Welcome back to the deep dive. So, you sent us this really interesting source this week, that Reddit thread asking about subtle signs someone's going to be successful.
Yeah, it was fascinating. A huge range of perspective.
Totally. And it really got us thinking. So, today we're going to, dive into what that community shared. We want to unpack those like quieter indicators that maybe hint at big things to come and what that might mean for your understanding of success.
Exactly.
The source, just to be clear, is that Rask Reddit thread. What's a subtle sign as someone is going to be successful? And it's not just like a simple list.
Nope. That'll
It's
tell
full
you.
of nuances, some really unexpected ideas from all sorts of people, therapists, teachers, people who took very different paths.
Right. And our mission here really is to try and pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising bits from all those stories and comments.
Yeah, help synthesize it a bit.
Help you figure out what these signs actually mean so you can think about success for yourself or maybe recognize it in others.
Okay, let's jump in. The first big theme that kept popping up was adaptability. This ability to handle new situations quickly without getting super stressed.
hmm Someone literally said they adapt quickly without getting unduly stressed out.
And someone else added, they seek out new situations, which is another level.
It is, and it connects so strongly to emotional maturity, doesn't it? There was that comment from the dropout who's doing well now.
Oh, yeah, what did they say?
They said, emotional maturity and willing to approach uncomfortable problems is worth their weight in gold. It's not just coping, it's seeing discomfort as maybe an opportunity.
Right, not just something to dread.
Exactly, and that flows right into resilience. It's not about avoiding struggles, it's about refusing to stay down. That quote really stuck with me.
Me too. And it's not just grim determination. Sometimes there's this grace. Someone mentioned it's wild how some people just roll with the punches like they've got plot armor.
Plot armor. I love that. It feels like that sometimes, doesn't it?
It does, but is that plot armor just inner resilience? Or is there maybe something else going on, like external factors?
Well, that's a really important point, and it came up strongly. Is resilience always enough?
Right.
Because one user, the Newsdesk 5, made a powerful argument. They said something like, whole lot of resilience, very few success stories in some places, highlighting how crucial things like social safety nets and actual resources are. Acknowledging that life's not fair, and sometimes people keep getting up simply because they've got no other option.
That really puts it in perspective. It's not just about individual grit detached from circumstance.
Definitely not. But that thread of sheer perseverance, that internal thing, it's still undeniable, like that history fan mentioning George Washington.
Oh, right. That his perseverance and resilience were maybe more important than pure intelligence or strength.
Exactly. What set him apart?
Okay, so building on that resilience, another huge piece was drive, initiative, being a self-starter.
Yes. Pascal 73, the one who'd hired and fired a lot of people.
Yeah.
They said successful folks are self-motivated, ask intelligent, well-thought-out questions, and don't need constant direction.
That makes sense. But then you have the flip side, right? What about the environment?
Exactly. That came up too, the impact of bad management. Someone said power-tripping micromanagers create the most toxic of environments.
Yeah, they stifle that initiative. Doesn't matter how much you have if the environment crushes it.
Right. It really makes you question if initiative is always seen or rewarded everywhere.
And then there's focus, this idea of quiet discipline. That really resonated. Someone observed that successful people seem to have a different level of focus. Like when they start something, they finish it and do their best. That discipline's separating finishers from starters.
Yeah, the closers. And that high school teacher's perspective was interesting too on drive and resiliency.
What did they say?
They talked about students constantly seeking out opportunities and pushing themselves. But crucially, they edited their comment to clarify. By drive, they didn't just mean good grades. They meant kids who have things they're passionate about and make moves to get involved and make things happen for themselves.
Ah, so passion driving the action, not just academic hoops.
Precisely. Which maybe explains some of those other stories.
Like the ones defying the typical school path. Yeah, like, that's interesting too. Who said they did the bare minimum in high school, but found their drive later and became successful.
Right. Or the person with the 2.8 GPA who now has a PhD from Vanderbilt and is a leading scholar. Incredible.
It really is.
It just shows, school is one niche world, a lot of differences from the real world. Some people just need that time, right? Time to find what actually lights them up.
Yeah. School performance isn't always the predictor we think it is.
Not always. It's about finding that spark eventually.
Okay, this next one also ties in.
Yeah,
The
cool.
difference between talking about doing things and actually doing them.
Oh, yeah. Actions versus announcements.
Exactly. Observations like, they don't talk constantly about their great plans. And that story about the extremely cocky new hire.
The one who spent all their time hyping themselves up.
Yeah. Instead of, working, as someone put it, actions announcements every time.
Yeah.
There's a quiet confidence in just doing.
Definitely. It reminds me of that musician analogy someone shared
Which one was that?
about how the beginner or local acts talk a lot about their big plans while the headliners just rehearse. They focus on the end result, deliberate practice.
Right. Less talk, more focused action, more deliberate.
Much more deliberate.
So is that focus just another word for grit or persistence? Those came up too, even down to the small things like simple follow through.
Like following up with a link they promised.
Yeah. Hey, I'll send you that link later, and then they actually do it. Seems small, but maybe indicative.
I think focus is how you apply the grit and persistence. Grit keeps you going.
Yeah.
Focus directs the energy. And yeah, that follow through on small things, that shows reliability, self-discipline.
Sure.
Like that comment. Successful people just get on with stuff. No faffing, no moaning, no procrastinating.
Right. They're goal-oriented, they're closers, they make things happen, obstacles or not.
Exactly.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit to the more human element. Self-awareness, curiosity, social intelligence.
Important stuff.
One sign people mentioned was they listen and observe more than they speak. And that great piece of advice, never pass up a chance to shut up.
Yeah, listening. It's such an underestimated skill, isn't it? Shows respect, leads to real understanding.
Definitely.
And related to that, the ability someone mentioned to explain something difficult as if they were talking to a child, yet not make the person feel stupid.
Oh, that's a rare gift, especially in teaching or mentoring.
Really is. Shows deep understanding and empathy.
And what about handling pressure and feedback? Those came up too.
Crucial. Like, they stay calm under pressure. When things go wrong, they don't just react or blame. They pause.
Yeah.
Think.
And act. And they take feedback without getting defensive. That's huge. It's so huge. And also how they treat people. There was that point about how successful people treat those who can't really do anything for them.
Like a waiter or a junior staff member.
Exactly. It reveals so much, doesn't it? Emotional maturity, humility, leadership potential even.
Yeah.
Being genuine and not feeling the need to, put others down.
Yeah, basic decency, but it says a lot. And what about curiosity? That spark.
Oh yeah, insatiable curiosity. And that great line, curiosity plus humility is a scary, powerful combo.
I like that one.
Me too. It all kind of points towards having a high EQ, right? Emotional quotient, understanding yourself, managing emotions, empathizing, interacting well.
Makes sense.
And part of that EQ is accepting you're not an expert at everything. Being able to take direction from someone who knows more.
Being open to learning.
Right. Receptive to feedback and actively seeking mentors. Not being afraid to ask for help. We probably underestimate how powerful simply asking can be.
Definitely. Okay, now we have to address the elephant in the room. External factors. Privilege. Yep. Couldn't ignore that one. It was all over the thread.
Comments like, born wealthy is the most direct sign. Or the slightly sarcastic, their parents' names are highlighted blue on Wikipedia.
Right. And we have to acknowledge that. Someone brought up that monopoly effect experiment.
Where giving some players more money up front changed their behavior.
Yeah, they apparently showed less empathy as the game went on. It's a sobering point about how advantage can affect perspective.
But it's not the whole story, is it? The thread pushed back, too.
Absolutely. The counter was strong. Plenty of rich kids fall flat because they just lived off mom and dad and had no drive.
Right. So privilege helps, obviously, but it's not a guarantee.
Exactly. The argument seemed to be that combining a stable foundation with actual personal drive is where you see the real separation, not just one or the other.
Okay, that makes sense. What about the whole delayed gratification thing, the marshmallow study?
Ah, yes, the famous marshmallows. That discussion got nuanced fast.
How so?
Well, people pointed out later analyses of the study. Apparently, kids who didn't wait often came from lower-income backgrounds.
No, interesting. Why?
The theory was treats might have been rare, or maybe they didn't trust the promise of getting double later, a kind of poverty-scarcity mindset.
So it wasn't just about willpower.
Maybe not entirely. The analysis mentioned found that kids from higher-income families tended to do better later on, whether they ate the first marshmallow or waited. Suggests the background might matter more than that one choice.
Wow, okay. That adds a lot of context.
It does. But delayed gratification itself still has power. Remember that user, McCore?
The one who saved for 10 years?
Yeah, delayed gratification for a decade to buy a home. That's personal willpower making a huge impact, regardless of the study nuances.
True. Okay, now for maybe the most controversial point, the link between success and narcissism or selfishness.
Yeah, that definitely sparked debate.
Comments like, an incredible amount of narcissism and selfishness, and that you don't get traditionally successful by being nice or caring about others. Some even said the biggest bullies from school ended up successful.
It's uncomfortable, but it was definitely a thread. What's the cost of success, traditionally defined?
Exactly. What did people argue?
Well, conflicting views. Some felt maybe a lack of EQ is what helped some people succeed ruthlessly, especially in business, founders, CEOs.
The move fast and break things mentality, maybe.
Perhaps. But others push back hard, saying not everyone who is successful is a bad person, and that maybe ethical approaches are becoming more important. The landscape is changing.
So, no easy answer there, just acknowledging the tension.
Right. An ongoing debate about what traditional success even means and what it costs without the thread really landing on one side. It just presented the conflict.
Okay, so putting all this together, maybe the most fundamental question that emerged wasn't about any single trait, but define successful.
Exactly. That felt like the core, this idea that success is deeply personal.
And fluid. Someone said it's a personal definition that will change, usually without your awareness or approval.
That really hits home. And the Newsdesk 5, again, their example was brilliant.
Remind me.
How their definition changed. At 15, it was fantastical Disneyland bullshit. At 25, get custody of my daughter and finish college. Then at 35, just find my slice of happiness and make sure I raise a functional adult.
Wow, that shows the evolution so clearly.
It really does. And it reinforces that success isn't just about money. It can be so many things, like taking care of 10 cats or finding real contentment in a dream job, driving trucks long haul.
Contentment, fulfillment, whatever that looks like for you.
Right. Remember that Emily Dickinson quote someone shared, "Success is tasted sweetest by those who have never succeeded." It suggests success is partly about perspective, about the journey.
Definitely something to think about. So life's unpredictable, sure. But the thread also seemed to suggest there's still power in your actions.
Yeah, in practicing the right habits to get themselves to successful situations. Agency matters, even when things feel chaotic.
So, okay, we've covered a lot. From inner stuff like adaptability, resilience, discipline, to external factors like privilege, even the dark side with narcissism.
And maybe most importantly, that need to define success for yourself.
Exactly. That feels like the biggest takeaway.
And while, there are no guarantees, understanding these signs, these discussions, the context, it can give you powerful insights.
Insights for your own growth?
Yeah, for personal growth, for navigating challenges, for making choices that actually align with your definition of success, whatever that may be and however it might change. It's about awareness, not some kind of rigid checklist.
Well said. So for everyone listening, after hearing all these different perspectives on subtle signs of success, maybe the question to ponder is, what qualities or paths seem most valuable for your own journey now, and how might your definition of success keep evolving?